Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. If I request all of you to mute your audio and your video. So there is a, okay. So welcome to the mains orientation program or mains workshop by Nama KPSC. I'm Dr. Arjun Bopanna. Good evening, everyone. Before we start with this session, technology has given us this opportunity to interact with students across India. I just wanted to know if anybody is from outside Bangalore, who all are from outside Bangalore and from where, and then we can go about with the session. How many of you are from outside Bangalore? Oh, okay, right. Davangere, somebody is from Davangere, Mysore, Dharwad, Chitradurga, Belgaum. Okay, Hubli, Hassan, Shimoga. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, from Belgaum, Mysore, Ramnagar, Dharwad, Tumkur. Oh, wonderful. Okay, studying in Delhi. Okay, so we have from North India also. Raichur, Bidar, Gulbarga. Okay, that's wonderful, guys. See, this is the beauty of technology. If used for the right purpose, we will be able to interact. Otherwise, traveling all the way to the main centers of education, etc., would have been very difficult. So, credits to technology, and with that, I would like to welcome you all to this mains workshop. Okay. Before we start with the session, let me tell you what you can expect from this particular program. Okay. See, as you all know, there is a lot of confusion that is happening right now with respect to your examination, mainly KPSC examination. Okay. Whether it is with respect to cutoff, whether it is with respect to syllabus, okay, where to study, how to study, when the exams are going to be, etc. So the idea of this session is to address some of these questions, okay, some of the questions relating to the syllabus, some of the queries relating to where to study from, etc. I will try to address them, okay. And how do you start? And why this examination, or why this particular stage of your examination, that is your mains examination, is so important, okay, if your dream is to enter civil services. Let's try to understand all of that in today's session. That is number one. And also, please understand, I shall not be discussing about cutoff. Okay, so we get a lot of messages, a lot of mails asking for cutoff. Okay, I am not going to predict the cutoff, because anything I say, somebody or the other is going to be offended by it. Okay, so I am not going to predict. We have not done any statistics. Okay, there is no methodology that we have adopted to come out with the strategy. Okay, see, if your goal is to clear civil services, whether it is KPSC or any other civil services or competitive examination, your effort will never end until you find your name in the final list. So irrespective of your cutoff, if your dream is to see yourself in the final list, my suggestion is you continue with your preparation. So in case if you are here to get an insight into cutoffs or see me predict about cutoff, I'm not going to do that. Okay, and I will not be convincing you to start your mains. All that I'm going to do today is give you the information, okay, relating to the mains and what and how to prepare for mains. The choice is yours. I'm not going to convince, because it becomes a marketing strategy if I try to convince you. I'm just going to give you the information, whatever is required, and what has helped me to clear the exam and what has helped my students to clear this examination. That is what I'm going to tell you today. Is that okay? So that is what we are going to expect from this particular session. Okay. So initially I will use this video to discuss, and then I will present the my presentation about what all, where all to study from. Is that okay, guys? I hope there is no problem with the audio and video. If there is no problem, I will continue or go ahead with the session. If somebody can tell me if my voice is audible clearly and video. Great. Okay. So if there's no problem, let's begin. So after the session, we will have a Q&A session. Okay. In case if you have doubts, you can keep that towards the end. In case in the middle, if you have any minor doubts, you can definitely message. I'll be tracking that in case if something needs to be addressed. Okay. So let's keep all the questions towards the end. Fine. So now, why this mains preparation is so important? Okay, as you all know, there is a change in the syllabus or the examination pattern, let's say. Why? Number one, they have removed the optional subject. Okay, so this is going to bring a level playing field to all of you. Since they have removed the optional subject, freshers have a better chance, have an equal chance rather, have an equal chance because they don't have to prepare for an optional subject. So freshers and everybody is having an equal platform. Earlier, some optional used to do well, other optionals were targeted, etc. You would have heard about such rumors. So this particular exam today, okay. Yeah. So what I was telling is why this particular means, why this year's mean is important. Because one, there has been a change in the system of the exam. That means they have removed the optional subjects. So there's going to be a level playing field. Remember, this is very, very important because earlier some option would do good, some option would not do good. So now only focus is on general studies, right? So that is number one. This is a golden opportunity. Let me tell you, whenever there has been change in the syllabus, the tendency is people who work hard, people who are smart tend to become more lucky. Okay, because if you have worked hard, irrespective of the type of question they ask, you will end up getting better marks. But if optionals and all was there, if somebody was lucky, their optional would score better than the others. So over here you have level playing field. Merit is going to work this time. Okay, and you are going to be able to have the same level playing field with everybody, especially the freshers. Freshers don't have to worry about studying a new optional subject, which itself takes 3 months. Okay, trust me, any simple optional also would take 3 months. So now that is not there. So that is therefore a golden opportunity. And second biggest, I would say the most important change that has taken place is to reduce the interview marks, right? So they have reduced the interview marks to 50. And this is going to make a lot of difference to a lot of people who are working hard. Okay, so plus there is also that if they give marks less than a particular number or more than a particular number, they have to make a record of why they have done so. So therefore, there is going to be a greater degree of transparency even in your interview. So therefore, this means, if you are able to score and be at the top of this particular mains, you will have a better chance of clearing. This is number one, why it is so important. Number two, you have got, one of the problems and one of the grudge that everybody has about this particular notification has been that the number of seats that they have called for is very less, right? 106, if I'm not wrong. But then later they have added more. It has now been, it is now 120. Okay, so around 123, if I'm not wrong. Okay. But what I am I'm not worried about that number because there are 50 Tahsildar posts. Okay, and then there is DYSP, which is reserved for Hyderabad, Karnataka, and few ACCT posts. But the major chunk, 50 Tahsildar posts, are available for grabs. Okay, and I think there is 6 for GM and I think 8 for women GM, etc. The numbers you can have a look at it, but you have got enough number of seats to enter into the service as a Tahsildar. And let me tell you, Tahsildar, is a very good post to begin your career with. And, it's an executive magistrate that has got various executive powers. Some of my students, 6 students are working as Tahsildar today as the nodal officers and in various other places tackling Corona. And in the initial phase, just 2 months back, they entered the service, and today they are managing the COVID situation, etc. When they talk to me about it, they say that, such a joy, pleasure, such a wonderful experience they are having, such a, scope for them to contribute to the society, etc. When I hear those things, I realize that it is very, very important because people are not aware of these posts. They are, sad about only so many seats, etc. there. So don't worry about it. There is enough seat. You just need one single seat. So even if there are 1,000 seats, will you get all the 1,000 seats? No, you will be aspiring for just one single seat. So put that as your target, irrespective of what others say. Okay, you just need one seat, and if you are able to work hard, you shall achieve that. That is why this particular mains is that important. Plus, that UPSC examination is also taking place in another 1 month. So many of them will be diverting their focus towards UPSC Then a lot of people are worried. You guys, around 138 people are joined here today in the session. All of you have now decided that I am going to do this examination. So you are focused. Rest all are still worried, worked up, thinking what to do, how to do, etc. Now you have taken the first step towards, clearing this examination, which is a great thing. So therefore, okay, you should make use of it. Others are worried. Others are diverted towards studying other examination. They are not very motivated. You guys are. So therefore, make sure that you take this opportunity and start your preparation. So with that, okay, I think I would like to discuss about the various issues that are there with your mains preparation. Is that okay, guys? Right. So today's program, what we will be discussing is, I will try to give you an orientation towards mains. Okay, so let's try to understand the syllabus in an easy manner. So it is so complicated when you look at the syllabus. So let me try to give you an easy way of looking at the syllabus. Let us try to understand the type of questions that are going to be asked. Should be your target? What should be your target? So once you understand this, you will get yourself oriented towards your preparation. Okay, and you will be able to focus better. Now there is so much of information, so much of confusion over the syllabus, etc. You might be really worked up. I understand. When you see the syllabus, look at the size of the syllabus. It almost goes to around 20-25 pages. If you look at it, anybody would get worried. Okay, so let's try to break it down in simple manner and try to understand what are the areas that we need to focus, right? So that is what we will try to do in the first. Then what is the approach? In the approach, I will try to give you an idea as to what are the various sources or material that has helped me and my student clear this particular exam. Okay, and then the priority area or priority list, what all you have to do, okay, to get the best out of this, best out of your mains. Okay, and then little bit about mains answer writing and a little bit about our program towards the end. Okay, so first of all, let's try to understand the exam pattern. Most of you are aware of it anyways. Just for the sake of completion, all of you are aware that there is 5 papers, 1 essay and 4 general studies paper, right? And you have a compulsory Kannada and English paper. So all these paper are for 250 marks and for 3 hours. Yes, I hope all of you are aware of this. And the compulsory Kannada and English is for 150 marks, and it is for 2 hours. And this is only for qualification. It is only qualifying, right? You have to just get 35% in this. Okay, so that is your qualifying. Okay, those who are not good in Kannada, please make sure you are good in that, because I've seen a couple of my own students not able to clear Kannada. If you are not good in English, make sure that you work towards that. Okay, don't neglect it if you are finding this difficult. So you just have to get 35%. The rest, the general studies and the essay paper are what is counted. So you will be writing your examination now this year for 1250 marks. Right, so 1250 marks. And interview, as I told you, okay, you are really lucky that interview has been reduced from 200 to 50 marks. Trust me when I say this, that 50 marks from 200 will help you, get a better chance of clearing the interview. And finally, so the grand total, that is 1300 marks, is what you are going to be evaluated for. Okay, now, so essay, as you all are again aware, and just very quickly I will do this. I will not take too much of time discussing the syllabus, because you can read it on your own. All that I'm going to do is try to simplify it. So you have 2 essays. Yes, you can write it in whichever language, Kannada or English, whichever you are comfortable with. Okay, so you have 1 essay on international national importance and 1 essay on state importance, state or local issues, anything to do with our state, okay, that has affected our state. That question, the topic will be on that. And then you have, okay, so I've just put some previous years, paper also, just to give you an idea. Look at this. So you have on international issues about International Bank of Reconstruction and Development. Okay, on Reserve Bank of India, on poverty eradication. Okay, problems associated with border of India, like this. So these are from national and international issues. If you look at these topics, okay, they are not your school level essay topics. Yes, school level they used to ask, what do you want to become when you grow up, or something like that, or about freedom movement, something like that, or on values, morals, etc. They used to ask question. Okay, unlike in UPSC where they ask question on moral issues, etc., courts, they ask question. Over here, they ask, the KPSC tends to ask mainly GS based essay topics itself. GS, how they ask questions in general study, the same thing they expect you to write an essay. So it will be 125 marks each. Okay. And then if you look at the state ones, like inter-basin transfer of water, okay, interlinking of water, etc., in relation to Karnataka. Okay, then the government had formed, when last time when we were writing when they were writing the exam, there was issue about state flag. Okay, so there was a question on that. Okay, state flag. Then recent government on declaring Lingayats as a separate religion, on that it was there. So whatever is in your current affairs, if you look at the type of topics that they have asked in your essay, it is mainly from current affairs. So very simple to handle it. Okay, so if you are thorough with your current events, one of the topic out of this 4 you have to write any one. Out of this 4 you have to write any one. So if you are good in your essay, okay, if you are good in your essay, if you read editorials on a daily basis, you should not have any trouble attempting and getting good marks in your essay paper. Okay, so this is about your essay. 1 on national and international issue, and 1 on state and local issues. Okay, the sources, etc., we will discuss later on. So if you're very good with your editorials, you have been reading every day. See, this year, if you try to make a list of probable essay topics, you can get around 20 topics in national, around 10 to 15 in your state, and most probably that itself will be asked. Like you can think about Article 370 or Citizenship Amendment Act or China-India relationship. Okay, and pandemic and global institutions. Okay, yes, national education policy. Okay, digital education, okay, economic reforms, things like that. See, if you just sit down one day with your friends, it is enough to get a list of topics. And there is, very easy, and you yourself will be surprised that the topics that you would have predicted has come in the examination. Okay, so what is your strategy for your essay topics? You will start reading your editorials. If you have been reading, well and good. If you have not been reading, you start from today itself. Start reading your editorials. Is that okay? So editorials from the Hindu or whichever newspaper you are comfortable and reading from, okay, you start focusing them more on that. Okay, so editorials will give you a broad idea as to how the essay has to be written, how you have to structure your essay, etc. Okay, so this is about your essay. Next, paper 2, that is General Studies 1. General Studies 1. Very simple. Over here you have your history and cultural heritage. Please remember, this history and cultural heritage, main focus is on Karnataka over here. Along with that, you have the art and culture and reform movement. This is what is asked in your mains. Okay, there is no freedom movement. National freedom movement is not there. Okay, there is no national freedom movement. What you would be preparing in your UPSC, that is not there. Okay, what is there is Karnataka history after Kadambas. After Kadambas, whatever is there in Karnataka history up to unification of Karnataka, reform movements, culture, art and culture, like religion, okay, the architecture, art, etc., can be asked in your examination. This is what is there in your history, culture and heritage part. Then you have your social and political perspective. So social is mainly your society, various topics related to society. Okay, when I say society, various things about caste system, westernization, globalization, village society in the villages, etc. So mainly your sociology part, okay, society. Okay, and along with that, political perspective. Political perspective, main focus. Political perspective means how political institutions in our country has evolved. Political institution. For example, backward class movement and committees. Various committees have been formed for the upliftment of the backward classes. That is what is the meaning of this political perspective. How the society has changed, how the political institution of our country has changed. So mainly this is dealing with sociology. The part that what I was talking about is sociology part, okay, social and political perspective. And the third part, section 3 in this is Indian economy and various issues related to economy, and along with this there is something about statistics, data collection, data analysis and data interpretation, because in economics we do data collection, statistics, predict, etc., graphs, charts, etc. So therefore this particular topic also is part of Indian economy. So in Indian economy, main focus is on planning, socio-economic development and rural development. Okay, that is the main focus. That means planning, different planning modes, etc. Okay, then socio-economic development, how fiscal policy benefits the society, how monetary policy benefits the society, how import and export have an impact on the society, etc. So that kind. So mainly developmental economy is asked in this particular area. Okay, so Indian economy, the various stages of planning, the industrial development in India and Karnataka, the rural development initiatives, rural development philosophy, all these will be asked in your section, this third section. Okay, so again, there are few questions. If you see previous year question, you will understand this. See, for example, in history, they have asked about Indus Valley civilization and Vedic civilization. Okay. Similarly, if you talk about the temple architecture, cave architecture, okay, foreign policy during the Ramaraya's time, okay, Diwan Mirza Ismail, Unification Conference, Belgaum Congress. So if you look at this, Karnataka history is having a lot of weightage in this particular area. Okay, so culture, heritage, history of Karnataka. Okay, if you see in terms of political perspective, as I told you, social and political development. Okay, so if you look at this Havnur committee report, okay, on backward class. Similarly, social movement. What is social movement? What are the features? Okay, role and role conflict. This is all sociology part. Okay. Similarly, limitation of state legislature. Again, it is not part of society per se, but again, when they are talking about the political perspective, that means how these political institutions have developed related to that. Okay. So things like this can be asked from your economy. Let's see what they have asked. They have asked about balance of payment. Okay. They have asked about Nanjundappa committee report. They have asked about decentralized planning. Okay. And then like graphs like this can be asked. Okay. So interpret this graph and few questions related to that, like how you had your CSAT paper like that. Over here you have to little bit elaborate and write it. Okay, it's not like a multiple choice, you have to elaborate and write them. Okay, so this is about your economy or paper 2. Next, your paper 3, that is your general studies 2. So over here the first section is your geography. Okay, physical features of world and India, natural resources and of Karnataka. Okay, so physical features and natural resources of the world, of India and of Karnataka. Very simple. Whatever you would have studied in your prelims, the same thing, same content is the same, but the type of questions that they ask and the way you have to write would be a little bit different. Then polity, overview of Indian Constitution. Okay, polity, whatever you would have read. And then the third one is public administration and management along with international relationship. Okay, so because tomorrow you are going to be administrators, tomorrow you are going to be managers, so you are expected to know some basic ideas, concepts relating to public administration and management. This is completely new topic for which is very different from that of prelims. Public administration and management. International relationship, anyways, you would have studied from your prelims point of view also. Okay, so let's see the type of question again. Very simple. See, geography, this is 1 and 2, you already know it. You can start writing your answers from today itself, because geography and polity you already would have studied from your prelims point of view. Okay, so let's see the type of question. See, fluvial erosion, what are the landform formed because of that? Racial social groups. So this is your human geography, geographical account of oil seed, agriculture, okay, important hill area development, tribal area development, regional planning, etc. Okay, then urbanization in Karnataka, electricity power in Karnataka and its challenge, agroclimatic region. All of you know this agroclimatic region of Karnataka and the major crops associated with that. So that is your geography part. Again, if you see, there is a mix of both Indian physical as well as your Karnataka geography. Next. Okay, so if you come to the polity and constitution, so fundamental rights relating to religion, culture, and education. Okay, with respect to governor. Okay, question on governor, question on power over parliament on state subject. You would have read that under 5 conditions, parliament can make law on state subjects that they have asked. Okay, comptroller and auditor general, constitutional, statutory body, etc. Same thing, whatever you would have studied from your prelims point of view. Next, if you look at the section C, that is public administration. I would, understand you being not aware of these topics, because obviously public administration is something which you would not have done in your prelims. Okay, so anyways, there are some general questions that will be also asked and some specific technical question. If you look at this technical question over here, okay, Pareto chart, performance appraisal, fishbone diagram, all these are, very technical, right? So though it is there in the syllabus, they are very technical. You would have to read it. You can't make up something about it. Okay. Next, discuss the factors emergence of new public administration. So what is this new public administration? What are the features? When it was, when it came out, etc. It is there in the syllabus, but you need to study them from scratch. Okay, so public administration and management. Okay, so that is your section C, or the third part of it. Next, paper 4, that is general studies 3. Over here it is about science and technology and environment. At least the technology part and the environment part you already would have studied from your prelims point of view. Okay. So application of technology, okay, role and impact of science and technology in India, information technology and various other technological development like space technology, biotechnology, IT revolution, etc. Role of it in development, etc. Then natural science. Over here, this is something which probably you would not have read from your prelims. At least from the technical point of view, you would not have studied from your prelims point of view, but in mains, they have asked question which is very technical in nature. Okay, so advancement and modern trends in natural life science. Okay, so agriculture, science, health and hygiene, etc. Okay, and then the third one is with respect to environment, ecology, along with that disaster management. So this is mainly your technological part. This is your natural science. Okay, agriculture, horticulture, animal husbandry, health, hygiene, all these things will be asked. And in the third one, it is about environment and ecology. Okay, so let's just have a look at the type of questions they had asked. Look at this, type of government interaction in e-governance. So application of IT for development. Okay, then INSAT program, space technology, right? Solar mission. Again, technological development, bioremediation, environmental issue, bring out various, drinking water in India, gender equality and other things. Okay, program and various accounts on design, etc. So like this, various issues relating to technology and its application, okay, to the society. Then you have from natural science, okay, or health science, etc. You have what is microorganism, how are they classified? Very technical. You can't just simply write on your own. You need to have a specific way of classifying it. Okay, similarly, what is the difference between vermicompost and vermiculture, etc.? Then what is sericulture? What is genetically engineered crop? Okay, different sheep breeds of Karnataka, advantages of goat farming, all these things. Okay, so agriculture, horticulture, fisheries, etc. are also part of this section B. And section C, okay, environment, national park and wildlife sanctuaries. How do you differentiate? Define rainwater harvesting. Okay, what are the causes of loss of biodiversity? International red data book, etc. Okay, all these what you would have studied in your prelims. Okay, solid waste management. Okay, ecological impact of river linking projects. Okay, those things can be asked. They have been asked. So this is what it is. Okay, so science, technology, basic science, as well as environment and disaster management. Okay, so this is your general studies 3 paper. And lastly, general studies 4 or paper 5 in your examination, ethics, integrity and aptitude. So this is completely new. It's not there in your prelims. Okay, so when we talk about when we talk about this particular paper, okay, there is two part to it. There is two part to it. One is theory. The other one is case study. Other one is case study. See, last year they had not asked questions relating to case studies. All the question was theory based. Okay, maybe they can ask only theory, or maybe they can ask case study also. Case study is that they will give you a situation. They will give you a situation. Based on the situation, they will ask you a few questions. What will you do? What will you do? So they'll give you a situation and then followed by few questions as to what are the dilemmas you are facing, what will you do, etc. Like you have been offered a bribe and you have also been threatened and you are also told that you will be transferred. You have to take action. What will you do? Something like that. Okay. So few questions after the situation will be asked. So ethics, integrity and aptitude. Okay, so what is ethics, what is integrity, etc. All that you have to understand. You have to focus on the definition. You have to know, focus on the merits of it, the challenges of it, etc. Anyway, so ethics, integrity and aptitude looks very complicated at this point of time, but if you are able to understand it, okay, it becomes very easy. It's a very scoring subject. Okay, so last year, as I told you, okay, they asked only theory based question. They had not asked any case study. Okay, so you know, like for example, write a note on ethical dilemma in government and private institution. If you look at some of the questions, they are very general in nature. Even now you can write it. See, what is the ethical dilemma that you face in government and private institution? That means ethically on a day-to-day basis as a civil servant, what will you face? You know, then what are the ethical issues in international relationship? Okay, now between India and China, okay, between our neighbors, in international institution, what are the ethical issues? Not the legal issue, not only legal issue, ethical, moral issues. Okay, right? So this is the different papers that can be that are there in your syllabus. I hope you are able to appreciate that it is very simple. See, the first paper, second paper, third and fourth paper. Fourth paper is ethics paper. Okay, and each of them 250 marks. Now, so having understood briefly, see, I would, if you are not, if you don't know the syllabus in detail, I would expect you to read it after the session. Okay, in detail you read it, identify what are the various topics, try to familiarize with the topics. Okay, that is what I expect you to do. I just gave you a broad overview. A very simple way of looking at the syllabus, but there is a lot of other topics within that. Try to understand them. Okay, at least once you read it briefly to get an idea as to what are the topics under each section. Is that okay? I just gave you a broad overview. I expect you to read it, because if I start doing that here, it becomes very boring for all of you. Okay, so it's already there. You can download the document either from the KPSC website, or even in our website we have uploaded it. You can read it. Okay, now, so let's try to understand what your target should be. This is very important for you to understand. Why? Because you will not get material for the entire syllabus. Please get this idea. Okay, please get this idea. Please get this very clear. Put it in your head. You will not be able to complete the syllabus. Okay, are you getting my point? You will not be able to complete the syllabus. No chance. If you think that I have to first complete my syllabus, then I don't think you will be able to finish your syllabus in another 1-2 years at least, if you continuously study. It is not possible. Okay, because there are topics from public administration, economy, history, sociology, ethics, philosophy. All these are three years courses. Okay, all these are three years courses. Be smart. Okay, that is what is necessary. You need to be smart. To be smart, first understand what is your target. What is your target and where will you achieve that? Okay, how will you achieve that? Where all will you get that marks from? For this, let's see the previous year papers. Okay, or previous year's cutoff. I have just taken general merit. Depending upon your category, etc., you can have a look at it later on. Okay, it is available in our website or in KPSC website. You can see the previous year's cutoff. So now general merit, if you see last year, okay, so the cutoff of general merit, okay, for assistant commissioner, I have just put here the topper, okay, top, not the other posts. For assistant commissioner, last year's cutoff was 61%. For all other posts, the last post of general merit was 56.79%. I hope you understood this idea. So AC. So this year, the top post I would say would be Tahsildar. So 61%. Okay, 61 to 65%. Okay, and if you see before that also, the topper 65%, and GM cutoff was 60%. GM cutoff was 60%. So roughly around 60 to 65 last in 2014. In 2015. Okay, in 2015, it was around 56 to 61%. This is roughly what a topper will get. This was when there was optional, and optional is very scoring, mind it. Okay, plus when there was interview, which was for 200 marks last year. Last year, the syllabus, I mean, if you say roughly, I would say 65%. Let's put it on average about 65%. The toppers were getting around 65%. Okay, toppers were getting around 65% when there was optional, which was very scoring. So this year, if you are writing your mains, let's say your target should be around 65%. Let's say your target should be 65%. So therefore, what I can conclude from this particular slide is that if you are trying to target 100%, trying to cover 100% syllabus, you may not end up getting so much. Okay, so know where all you will get your marks. If you are good in polity, focus on polity. If you are good in economy, focus on that. If you are good in ethics, essay, focus on that. Try to get the maximum marks from those subjects which you are good at, and try to manage other subjects. Coming to the approach, see, try to divide the syllabus. Why this? No, so that you will be able to understand from where all you can study and where all you can collect those marks. So you try to divide the subject into 12 modules or 12 topics. Okay, so I have just written them over here. You can write it down so that you can start your preparation, because the syllabus, if you see, there are a lot of topics which are overlapping. In paper 1, paper 2, etc. Like rural development is there in economy also, it is there in political perspective also, it is there in polity also. So like that, try to divide them into these 12 modules. Your entire syllabus, okay, can be divided into 12 subjects or 12 modules. So first one is your history and culture, right? So as I told you, history and culture, you have your Karnataka history and art and heritage of India. Then sociology, social perspective and social issues like globalization, okay, like Sanskritization, westernization, okay, caste system, etc. Then you have economy, where you have to specially focus on Karnataka. If you are aware, you have given your prelims examination on, okay, you are aware that Karnataka has come out with its new industrial policy. So there is high chance that they can ask this particular topic in your essay or in your economy part. They can ask, what is Karnataka's industrial policy? What are the salient features? What are the merits? What are its challenges? So if you are able to prepare, if you take a topic like this, okay, Karnataka's industrial policy, so you should know what is it, what is its objective, what are its features, what are its merits, and what are its challenges. Matlab, what challenges will the government face in the future for implementing this Karnataka industrial policy. So like that, if you try to understand, select those topics from current affairs and some basics relating to Karnataka economy, you should be comfortable with this. Is that okay? Economy of India as well as Karnataka. In India, you will be focusing mainly on planning, socio-economic development topics. Socio-economic development topics. Okay, next, statistics and general mental ability. So basic statistics like pie chart, graphs, how to depict this pie chart and graph. They have asked in the previous examination. If you see the papers, you will understand. They will give you some data and they will ask you to draw a graph, pie chart or a bar graph on this data. Similarly, if you have seen the previous year topic, they've also asked about general mental ability, time and distance problems, etc. They have also asked. So that is another topic that you have to focus. Then geography. So physical geography, Indian geography, and Karnataka geography. Then Indian constitution, political system, public administration and management. That would be another. Then science and technology with special focus on agricultural science. If you see that agricultural science, okay, agricultural science, lot of questions are asked in your mains. So agricultural science, both from the welfare point of view as well as technology point of view also you have to study. So make special focus on this particular topic, that is agricultural science, special focus on Karnataka agriculture also, along with various schemes, programs, etc. Technical part also. Please remember the technical part. When I say technical part is like, for example, I told you earlier. Okay, stop. Somebody started presenting. Anyways, so what I was discussing is that agricultural science. Okay, agricultural science, the technology part, etc. also needs to be prepared. Next topic is environment, ecology, along with disaster management. Ethics, integrity and aptitude. IR, international relationship. If you recollect in public administration and management paper, there is international relationship. And last one is essay. So there are 12 such topics that you need to prepare for. Is that okay? This is how you try to divide and start your preparation by selecting one of this particular subject, Let's say you are good in polity. Let's say you are good in polity, so you will take your prelims material, okay, and check your current affairs, and whatever are your mains issue, you will start preparing. So you don't have to wait for anybody. Okay, you don't have to wait for anybody to release a material or anything. You already have it, like Indian constitution and political system. You take your Lakshmikant. Okay, most of you would have read Lakshmikant. Okay, so you take your Lakshmikant and you already would have studied your current affairs. So you know what are the basic issues that is going on. See, for example, let's try to make a list of it. So there is, as we discussed, Article 370 is there. Fundamental right issues of privacy, okay, data security, then religion as a fundamental right, those issues are there. Then anti-defection is there. What else? Can you guys tell me from your current affairs? Polity and constitution related, anti-defection law related topics, federalism, okay, with GST because of the revenue sharing of GST, federalism, cooperative federalism, competitive federalism, etc. Yes, Citizenship Amendment Act, NRC, okay. Then reservation, yes, reservation in promotion and things like that. Governor's role, okay, governor's role. Contempt of court, very good, right? Contempt of court. Economically weaker section, NRC, Panchayati Raj, yes, Panchayati Raj. Then MLC, Member of Legislative Council, Office of Profit, very good, Office of Profit. Judges' conduct, issues of migrant. Did you get it? See, all of you are already aware of this particular topic, Indian Constitution and politics. You need to just reorient the focus, that's all. Okay, you already know the content of it. Now you should start reorienting your focus. I hope I'm making myself clear. See, mains is not so difficult or so complicated as you think it is. Okay, it is very simple. All the, at least 50% of the content is already with you. All that you have to do is start refocusing the content towards mains aspect, because in prelims already the answer is there in form of multiple choice question. You just have to rule them out. But over here you have to analyze, you need to write the topics on your own. So therefore, you need to start reorienting yourself. Similarly, environment and ecology, what all topics you can make? You again try to make a list. Your environmental impact assessment, pollution, ozone level, global warming. Yes, global warming. What else? Sea level rise. Um, okay. So topics on this. Yes, Western Guard panel. Yes, hazardous waste. Very good. See, that is what I'm saying. Environment, ecology, groundwater conservation. Yes. So environment and ecology and disaster management. Again, in disaster management, pandemic. Don't you think you can expect one question from pandemic or an essay? High probability. I'm not saying that it may be. It will be asked. Nobody can judge. Nobody can predict such a thing. Pandemic, medical waste management. Okay, all these things can be asked. So, what you need to understand, therefore, is that you start with these one of these topics: forest fire, CRZ. Yes, all of it. So, I hope you see what I'm trying to tell you. I hope you understood this. You don't have to wait for any material to be launched or released or anything. Don't have to panic. Start your preparation. Now, economy also is there. You start your preparation from what you have, and then looking at the syllabus, you start. So divide the number of days that is available. Let's say there is, say, 3 to 4 months. Let's say 3 months. You put a schedule for 3 months. You put a schedule for 3 months. Okay, so let's say 100 days, 90. Okay, 90. Okay, let's say for easy calculation, 100 days. So in 100 days, if you try to divide, at least around 10 days per topic. 10 days. I said 12 topics are there. Okay, let's say 120 days for easy calculation. So 10 days. Okay, so each of the subject, give yourself 10 days. Okay, give yourself 10 days and start refocusing yourself towards mains. Okay, then it is not going to be difficult. If you look at the entire syllabus and say that I need the material right now and then only I'll start preparing, that is not going to happen. So start small. Okay, pilot project, start small, and then you scale it up. And one by one, without your knowledge, you will get to know that in 2 months' time, you would have finished major chunk of your syllabus. This is how you have to approach your mains, especially in KPSC when the syllabus is so vast and so complicated. Okay, guys. So I hope this is clear how I have divided this into 12 subjects, like public administration and management. One book. You make a list of all the topics, you read it, understand it, and repeatedly revise it. Over in 10 days, you will be able to master this particular subject. That's how you can approach these topics. Fine. Now, coming to the sources, the most important, most of you must be thinking, are here to understand, get to know various sources. So let's try to first find out, okay, what all the sources that you already have. Okay, what are the sources that you already have from your prelims? What you have already read. Okay, see, Indian art, culture, history. Okay, there is no national freedom movement plus Karnataka history from Kadambas up to unification of Karnataka. Don't you think all of you would have read it? Yes, little bit more information is required when you are going to write your answer. Obviously, that is true. Okay, but at least the content, some of the contents are already available. I would say around 80% of the content is already available in your prelims material. Okay, like Indian art and culture, whichever book you have read. Okay, you have read Nitin Singhania or your Spectrum, or you have read our book, Karnataka history or Indian history, whichever book. I'm not suggesting or I'm not forcing on any particular book. Whichever book you would have studied, already it covers 80% of the mains syllabus. Then you would have read again economy, okay, planning, development, types of planning, okay, rural development initiatives, government policy, fiscal policy, RBI's monetary policy, balance of payment. See, last time they asked a question, balance of payment and its impact on domestic economy. So you are already aware of balance of payment, what are the various accounts in balance of payment, its impact, etc. Okay, inflation, impact of inflation, etc. At least the basic concepts you would have read from your prelims point of view. Geography, to complete geography, you, from the main syllabus, you would have already read physical, Indian and Karnataka. Whichever book you have been reading, NCRT, our Karnataka book, etc. Whichever book you have read from prelims point of view, that would be more than sufficient. Okay, then again, Indian polity and constitution. Obviously, all of you would have read Lakshmikant. Okay, more than enough for your mains. So governor issues are there, various topics related to mains are there, administrative reform commissions are there, various committees recommendations are there, center state relationship, constitutional bodies, analysis, various judgments, etc. Science and technology, you all would have studied space, biotechnology, IT, energy, etc. Environment and disaster management, any one environment book, either, you know, Shankar IAS or our material, Namak APSC environment material, or any standard environment book you would have read along with disaster management, you would have been, this more than enough for your mains also. International relationship, whatever is there in news, okay, if you have read, that is again more than sufficient. For your essay, as I told you, editorials, if you have been reading editorials for your along with prelims preparation, right, essay topics, already few of them you would have addressed. In the future, the editorials what you are going to read is more than enough for your content for your essay and current affairs related topics. All this, okay, you have already, you know, prepared, mastered, and given your prelims examination. So this is almost half the syllabus. You know, what a relief to know that half the syllabus is already something which you have already done. Okay, which you have already done. Is that okay? So this is what is your primary source. So at least the basic foundation on major issues from your mains is already done. The same book is enough. Trust me when I say that. Okay, all that you have to do is here and there few main topics which you come across, you add to it. Otherwise, the basics about geography, polity, etc. would be more than enough. As I told you, content is the same. Okay, the focus should be reoriented towards your main. See, for example, let's say governor. Okay, so what would you have studied in governor? Appointment, okay, qualification, and functions, right? Now, in addition to this, what you have to know? You have to know the issues, okay, analyze its political impact, matlab how governor is an agent of the center, okay, is it good for the constitutional democracy, cooperative democracy, is it good, why is it bad, what are the problems associated with it, etc. You have to study. To understand this, obviously you need to know the prelims. Okay, so this is how you try to reorient your preparation from the same books that is already available, which you have read. So this is for your prelims. This is for your this is from your prelims, whatever materials that you have read from your prelims. Now, coming to your exclusive mains topics. Exclusive mains topics. At least some material is already available in the market. You start reading them. The others, either we will give or some other institutions will give, or you do your hard work and get it from the internet, whatever the other sources. So 50% of the content is already from your prelims. Another 30% of the topics will be available in the market. Okay. And another 20% is what you have to do. So whatever is already available in the market, like for example, ethics. So if you just go to Amazon, you will find all, so many hundreds of ethics books. Hundreds of ethics books are already there in the market. Okay, different institution, different authors, etc. So I have just put some of the books that majority of the students read. Okay. Well, if I have to choose any one of them, I would say McGraw-Hill's Ethics and Integrity by Karthikeyan is good. Okay, if you have not yet started reading ethics, I would suggest you to start from this. I mean, see, it's just my suggestion. If you don't like it, if you want to read something else, please, you can do so. Okay, my suggestion is that any one single book you take, you read it, okay, and you try to remember the definitions, etc. Ethics is actually very easy to score. It's a very scoring subject. Already enough content is available in the market. No need to do any research, etc. take any good book. You ask your other seniors also, no problem. I'm okay with that also. Okay, just try to read them. So many people read Lexicon, Chronicle IS, Lexicon, Ethics Integrity by Subbarao. Many you, if you are comfortable with any ethics book, you take it and read it. Okay, so I have read all these books. All are good enough. Okay, good enough book. Maybe one or two topics are not that good in any book. If you take any book, if you take one or two topics, may not be that good. Okay, so therefore, you can select any one good book. If you have don't like it, you can borrow it from somebody and add to that itself. But take any one single book, ethics, read it cover to cover, and remember the definition. Because this I wouldn't say for UPSC students, but in KPSC students, I would expect you to make a list of definitions and remember them, because most of the questions in your KPSC will be what is XYZ and its features. So what is, they will ask you definition. What is emotional intelligence? What is, integrity? Okay. What is conscience? Okay. Like this, they will ask you questions. So make a list of important definition. So take any standard book. Okay. If you have an access to any public library, go there, ask for ethics, these books. You take one day, read all of them and select one book. Buy this book and you read it. Is that okay, guys? Okay, so any of these books you can refer. Next, others. Now, society and sociology topics. Okay, see, please remember, whatever sources I'm going to tell you would not cover 100% of the syllabus. Please remember, there's no source which will say, no source which will which can give you 100% cover 100% of the syllabus. Please get this. But okay, try to cover as much as possible. If you are not happy with any particular topic, you are not understanding it, skip it. Okay, keep it for later. Okay, whatever is easy, finish it off quickly. That should be your priority. So, society related topics, IGNOU is a very good source. You can get it free online. You go Google it up, society topics, you will get, okay, like for example, caste system, globalization, Sanskritization, westernization, okay, rural development, etc. All these sources you will get from IGNOU. IGNOU, I have found it to be very useful for the sociology topics. Sociology. If you have a group of friends who are studying together, I would recommend you to divide the topics among yourselves, and each of you put targets and try to select these topics. Okay. So this is what you can do. Some of you have asked question. Yeah, so Tejas, you're right that no case study has been asked in ethics. Okay, so I would, because in the syllabus, Tejas, okay, in the syllabus, it is mentioned that case study will be there. At least it doesn't require any separate preparation, So you just one day you have to spend, at least half a day you have to spend on how to write a good case study, what are the various ingredients to write a good case study, and then you write the case study, one or two case study, and get it evaluated by your seniors, friend, or your mentors. That is more than enough. Is that okay, Tejas? I wouldn't say that you don't have to sit and by heart anything for case studies. All that you have to know is the approach to write a case study, even in case if they ask it. Okay, Pradeep, women empowerment, social issues. McGraw-Hill, Chandrika, I don't know, because see, these are all will be cut and paste. See, social issues, etc. They have to be updated. They have to be constantly changed, etc. So I would not recommend this book single. I mean, you can read it and decide on your own. Okay, I haven't read it, so I won't be able to comment on that. Right. So yeah. Sociology topics from IGNOU. Next is rural development. Also, again, in your preparation, agriculture and rural development, what I have found in the past few years, whatever questions they have asked, agriculture and rural development is very, very important topic. Okay, so focus on this. Rural development, again, IGNOU is a good source. Plus, you can just Google it. Google any particular specific issue on rural development, etc. Okay, so internet would be the best source for this rural development. Next, public administration, sociology, Indian society, PU book for Karnataka. Yes, Seema, I haven't read that PU book and all. So see, IGNOU, I feel is quite standard. Even UPSC, sociology students, anthropology students, they all read it. Okay, so it's a good book. Rest of the books I am not aware, because listen, sociology NCERT is just a basic level. I won't think it is enough. Naveen, it is not enough. At least to give you a broad idea, it is enough. Okay, but at least the type of questions that they ask in the exam, okay, NCERT maybe would be the base, and then on that, at least some topics you need to study from IGNOU. Okay, sociology PU book, you look into it, Seema. If you feel it is good enough, it is okay. Any sociology book, if you are a student of sociology, your degree book also is more than enough. If you are a sociology student, this is just my opinion. And those who are completely have no knowledge about the source, for them it is. Those who already know about the sources, probably you can stick to that. Okay, that will be too much. Ramahuja and all would be too much, I think. Okay, for at least to read in the 3 months, and that is why. Okay, next, public administration and management topic. Okay, again, IGNOU is a good source. Various internet. Just sit with the, Google the various topics. You will get content on that, and you can make your own notes. So over here, we will be coming out with a document, public administration and management. If you are comfortable with that, you can take it. That's not a problem. Otherwise, if you are doing it on your own self-study, IGNOU material is good. Or Lakshmikant, public administration book is there. Okay, there's one book by Lakshmikant itself. So that also is okay. You can read it, but they're all from the optional subject, public administration optional subject. Okay, so some of your friend who has studied public administration, just borrow their books and you can make some notes from whatever the syllabus is there. Management also same way. Okay, so this is what you can do for your public administration. Then post-independent post-independence Karnataka, there are some topics that are asked. This is very difficult to find. Okay, these sources are very difficult to find. Don't worry about them. Some topics are there in IGNOU, Shodh Ganga, okay, and some of them you can just Google it up, okay, like Nanjundappa committee report. They are all easily available in either internet or in your economic survey, etc. Like that, some backward class committee reports are there in Shodh Ganga. Okay, just these are websites where you can find these documents. Okay, just you have to Google saying that, okay, Nanjundappa committee, Shodh Ganga. You will get the article document. Okay, this is how you have to study. Then again, natural science, again, there is no one single source for it. Natural science, you can read NCERT book. Okay, IGNOU, few topics are there in IGNOU. NIOS, National Institute of Open Schooling, there are some topics in that also, and internet. Okay, internet is a very good source. Like for example, various agricultural practices, various horticultural practices. Okay, all these are available in the internet. All that you have to do is Google the topic. That's all. Is that okay? This is what you have to do. See, if you get a compiled version of some book is there, it will not cover. If it is not done exclusively for KPSC, then all that you will be doing is spending money on a very bulky book. You understood? So you would be simply spending money on a bulky book. Don't do that. Internet is a good source for natural science, because see, lot of research, lot of development are all put on the internet itself. Wikipedia itself is a very good source. Wikipedia itself is a very good source for natural science. Like for example, we read the question about classifying the microorganism. So it is there in NCERT also. It is there in Wikipedia. If you just Google it up in Wikipedia, it is there. Fine. So that is with respect to natural science. Then statistics and data interpretation. Again, you can, there is a book on statistics from Spectrum. Okay, this you can buy. You can read from that, but it will be again too much to read from this book, statistics. But so therefore, what I would suggest you is just keep it towards the end. Use your general mental ability, whatever books you would have read from your prelims point of view. Try to read them and try to make it up from the mains point of view. Okay, so Spectrum book you can read for statistics, but again, it is too much for one single question. One question is asked. To read one book, entire book for one question would not be, an ideal, intelligent thing to do. Okay, so this is what are the various sources that you need from Mains point of view. Now, if you look at this, so you need a book for ethics. Okay, one of the books. Today only you buy this, make a choice and buy a book for ethics and start reading. Next, society, sociology topic. Trust me, if you don't have any other source, start reading from your IGNOU. Very good book. Rural development also from IGNOU you can read. Public administration management. One more week we will be releasing our book. You can read from that, or you can start reading from IGNOU or internet and start making notes. Okay. And then post-independent, again, some sources like Nanjundappa Committee report and linguistic movement in Karnataka, etc., can be read through internet. Natural science, again, internet, etc. So this is what you can do. Yeah. So what I was telling was that there is no time to sit and do notes. Okay. Don't start making notes from today itself. That's not what I want you to get out of this session. Okay. No time to make notes. So what you can do is two things. Okay, what you can do is two things. One, you start compiling them in, say, Word or any other, any other software that is available. If you are good at it, either, okay, you start compiling those documents in PDFs or Word or in, various other like OneNote. These are all softwares that are freely available. You can download it. OneNote is a software that you can download it. Okay, yes, Evernote. These are all softwares which will help you to make notes. You don't sit and write it. You find something in the internet, you cut it, you copy it and you paste it in these document. Okay, and this is what you can do. If you have a printer, take a printer. Okay, whatever. That's what you can do. And then you start doing micro notes. Just try to write down the keywords. Try to make the keynotes. Anyways, all these probably I will take up, in my next session when we discuss as to how to make notes and how to write answers in the next session. But for you to get a better idea, so already what you have studied in prelims and ethics, you can start off with, and slowly other topics you can start preparing. Yes. Anandu has asked a very good question. Economic survey of both India as well as Karnataka. It is again a very important source from your main point. You already would have studied from your prelims, but now it requires a much more broader reading. Okay, so economic survey of Karnataka, topics like industrial policy, agriculture initiatives, schemes, rural development. Don't you think, Anand, you would have read various rural development schemes, etc. You would have read in your economic survey. Now that has to be focused. Various welfare schemes of Karnataka, all those things you have to focus. What chapter? I would say almost all the chapters would be important. Don't worry about the data, numbers, and graphs. Don't have to worry about the facts, because they are not going to ask facts like how they ask in your prelims. So you can skip those. And just focus on the concepts. Ideas, schemes and programs. Is that okay? So that is what you can do. What about Karnataka specific current issues and essay? Yes, very important. Again, as you guys know, Rajshekhar, as you know, that Karnataka issue is asked in your essay. One essay topic is asked, and in all other, like whether it is polity, whether it is economy, whether it is agriculture, rural development, in all these things they ask you Karnataka issues. So at least 50% of these Karnataka issues will be related to current affairs. Yes, so that is why you have to read your Karnataka issues and Karnataka specific current affairs. This will be useful from your essay as well as your general studies, rural development, economy, political perspective, etc. Is that okay, Rajshekhar? Then yeah, so Sarika, you have said that you have to quote some data. Definitely, yes, you have to quote some data. What I'm trying to say is, see, you don't have to remember all the facts, okay? Because in prelims, if you see the type of questions KPSC asks, facts becomes here. You will decide what facts you are going to write, okay? And there is a trick that you don't have to remember all the facts. Sarika, I hope you understand. You don't have to remember all the facts. So there's something called as number magic. You should know few facts and you should integrate with the question. You know, they should be smart enough to try to select those numbers which you are able to remember, okay, and then try to write them as much as possible. See, with just 10 facts and 10 data, you can write one paper, one entire general studies paper with 10 facts. If you are smart and if you have that skill of writing good answers with just basic 10 facts, you can write beautiful answers. So you don't overload yourself with facts. Okay, that is what it is with your mains. Is that okay? I hope at least some idea you got about the main syllabus, etc. Okay. For economic survey, compilation provided by institute are enough, or should we? No, I think, see, economic survey, I would suggest you to read it. I have read it for my exam. I had read it for my exam when I had given. It was useful. Okay, these are some documents which are very useful for writing a good business. Be selective. That's what I'm saying. Don't sit with the book from page 1 to page 500. I'll read every book. Don't be like that. Be attentive and try to understand why you are reading each of it. If you know it, then only you write it. Then only you try to remember it. Is it okay, Nandan? Okay, Nandana, right? Right. So what are we planning to do is, there are a few materials which we had given last year. So we will be providing an updated version of it, which would take some time for us to release. So first of all, we are like, within a week or 10 days, we will be releasing public administration management, rural development, mains geography, okay, Karnataka mainly, Karnataka mains geography, Karnataka mains history, and post-independence Karnataka. This would take about 1 month's time. The rest we would be releasing it in another 10 days to 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks time. Is that okay, guys? So this is what we will be providing for now. Later on, we will be adding more topics. For now, this is almost ready. Current affairs, 1 year is enough. So writing answers of previous question year would be helpful. It will not repeat. Okay, I would not say it will not repeat or would repeat. Okay, it is something which is left to the examiner. There's no prediction as to how many questions will repeat. That cannot be done. But yes, it will give you an idea as to how questions are asked. Is that okay, Swati? It will give you an idea as to how the questions will be asked. Sample answers for what? Previous years? No. Cutoff, I told you in the beginning, guys, I'm not going to discuss about cutoff. Okay, I'm not going to talk to you about cutoff. I've already told you this. All our material for now is in English. Sorry about that. Okay, we have our team, we are able to afford only, so many content developers, so that is why. Do we need to present answer in good handwriting? Yes, I think KPSC may having good handwriting, presenting it in a better way would be always good. You will be able to fetch better marks. Is that okay? Rishabh, you should at least be legible to get the basic mark. If your handwriting is good, you might get at least 1 or 2 marks, better. Trust me, this is true actually. If you have a good handwriting, at least in KPSC it works. Structuring, yes, I will have a separate class. Today I will just give you a broad idea. Material in Kannada is not there. Any book for compulsory Kannada paper? Yes, it is there in the market. You just go to any bookstall, competitive bookstall. You ask for compulsory Kannada Rudresh, you will get it. A lot of questions. Anyways, I'll just complete the my discussion and we'll go to the other doubts. Now, priority areas. So how do you start your preparation? I'll start with this and then later we can discuss. Okay, priority areas. What are the areas that you need to understand? So now, if you are studying for your KPSC mains exclusively, if you have decided that I am going to start my mains preparation from today itself, the priorities what you have to give. So I would say the most important papers in your mains is your ethics paper and your essay paper. These two are the easiest and the most scoring, at least for now. Otherwise, I would have put optional over here. I would have put optional since there is no optional subject. Let me tell you, ethics and essay is the most easiest and the most scoring subject right now. Okay, so you can easily, get essay and all. You can get more than around 150. Okay, for writing two essay, you will get around at least 150 out of 250. Ethics also, with in terms of kind of effort that you put, it is very easy to score around 110 to 120. This I cannot say for other subjects. So therefore, master these two subjects as quickly as possible. Why? Again, another reason why you have to prioritize this is ethics. Already there is a book. Okay, you can start your preparation right now. And essay, start writing essay, start reading editorials. And when you read editorials, focus not only on the content, but also as to how the essay is being structured, how their essay is flowing, what is the flow of the essay, how it is started, that is introduction, and how it is concluded. Start focusing on this. Okay, this is what you have to do for your essay right now. So the priority, you start writing essay, your marks will increase exponentially in the same manner. Now if you write an essay, you might get 80 marks. You write about 5 essays, you will get around 150 marks. Trust me, I have done this, I have seen the results of it. This is what you have to do. We don't give attention to essay because we feel that essay we can write, what is there? There is no syllabus per se. So we don't know what we have to read and how to read, etc. So we feel that okay, essay, I'll go there and write. When you go there and when you start writing essay, you will realize, or you will be surprised, that it is so difficult to write if you have not practiced. So know how to structure, etc. Later we will discuss about the essay paper in detail. We will have a session on essay itself, but that's for the later point of time. Then polity and Indian constitution, because again, with the Lakshmikant and the current affairs that you would have read would be more than enough to get that topic. Then again, geography, since the material is already available, you have already read for prelims. Okay, environment topics, technology, at least the science, basic technology like space, biotechnology, etc. History, art, and culture. So at least start with this right now. So put a target. Within 1 month, you will finish all these topics. By then, lot of materials will be available in the market from various institutions, from your friends and other people, seniors. You will get a lot of material. Okay, so till then, at least these you should have finished before your prelims results. Before your prelims results, at least finish off these topics. Okay. Is that okay? So this is my priority list. And now, what you should not do. This is also very, very important. What you should not do. What you should not do is worry about material. As I told you, materials, at least 50% of the materials is already available with you. You don't know. Okay, you don't know that you already have enough content, okay, which you should start reading. You are worried that you don't have material and waiting for another 10 days. You are wasting unnecessary and precious time. Okay, so worrying about material, leave it. It will come as you progress, as you become more oriented towards your mains. You yourself will start collecting, getting the idea of where the materials are. A lot of materials will be released in the market also. So don't worry about the material, guys. It will come. Whatever material is already available, as I told you now, you start reading from that. Then don't collect notes. So the habit of collecting notes, do away with that. Okay, as soon as you see something, you want everything. You will buy all the books and keep it in your shelf. Okay, don't do that. Okay, don't collect notes. Whatever is required, you read it. If you feel it is really important, going to help you that. And then stop worrying about cutoff. I don't understand why is it so important that cutoff, you are worried about cutoff. If your dream is to enter civil services, okay, whatever it is, ultimately the thing is that you have to be in the final list, whether it is in this notification or later. What is the worst case that can happen if you start preparing? If you start preparing now, hoping that you will clear, hoping that you will clear. What can happen? What is the worst thing that can happen? Okay, what is the worst thing that can happen if you prepare now, hoping that you clear and you don't clear? What is the worst thing that can happen? You may lose some time, maybe you might lose some money. Okay, time and money. If you wait, what you're doing, you're already wasting your time. You're already wasting your time if you're simply sitting and waiting and doing nothing. And money is nothing, once you clear, okay, you don't have to worry about all these things, right? So what is the worst thing that can happen? Okay, if you start preparing and you don't clear. Imagine the situation where you don't prepare. You listen to some senior saying that no, cutoff will be 240, 260, 280, 300, and you don't prepare. You sit and sulk about it, and then you end up clearing. What will happen? You would have wasted 1 month's time, and you have 2 more months for your mains. It is not enough. You simply would spend the same money which you would have spent otherwise, same amount of effort which you would have put otherwise. And then because you had not started early, one seat was available for you and you did not get it because you were sitting for 1 month and listening to people that the cutoff will be 250, 300, and you don't prepare for it. Be smart. Think about it. What is the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is you lose some money and time. And if you compare it in your lifetime, okay, it is an investment that you are doing for your career, nobody else's. Your career, your effort, you are not going to waste it. Okay, so I really don't get the idea of why you worry about cutoff. If you don't clear this year, next year you will start from the same point. You will be able to be better off in your prelims. You will clear in a better rank. Okay, so don't be stupid and keep worrying about the cutoff when you have to sit and study. Okay, because all other smart people, there is 100 seats, 100 plus seats, 120 seats. You have 120 people in Karnataka today sitting and studying. It is enough for you to be out of this race. You understood? 120 people have already started studying in Karnataka. At least 120 have started studying. They will be much better than what you will be when you start after 1 month. Okay, so don't be stupid, guys. Even if you don't clear today, see, there are many people will tell that it is all a gimmick. They want to keep it very low, that this. I have experienced this in my career as a teacher, that many students who worry about cutoff end up clearing the exam and start crying before the mains exam because they did not complete the syllabus. So please don't worry about the cutoff. Study. Ultimately, enjoy the preparation. At the end, you will be more intelligent. That is the positive of it. 1 month you study, you don't clear. At least you are a degree intelligent. You are a degree smarter than what others are. That is huge. Even if you don't clear, you will be telling your children these topics and making them clear the examination. Worst case, that is what I can think about. Okay, so stop worrying about cutoff. Start focusing. If you are determined, if you are, determined to enter civil services, if there is that josh in you that I will want to serve the society, then don't worry about cutoff and simply start studying. Okay, so okay, that is one thing. Next, postponing answer writing. So I have seen students postponing answer writing, thinking that they will complete the entire syllabus. I will complete the entire syllabus and then read, then study. You also must be thinking the same thing. Okay, half of you over here must be thinking the same thing. I will master the syllabus, then I will start writing the answer. Okay, that is another stupid thing that you can do. Postponing answer writing. You start writing today. You take your previous year question paper. You take a previous year question paper and you write an answer, whatever topic you know. See, you know about climate change. So there is a question. Okay, there is a question on climate change in the previous exam. Start writing the answer. You write it. You will know it is so difficult to write an answer. You may think you can write, but even the topics that you know very well, you may not be able to write an answer. You don't know how to structure. You don't know how to ensure a flow to the answer. You don't know how to conclude. You don't know how to start an answer. All this will be, all this can be mastered only by practice. See, if you want to be a cricketer, okay, if you want to be a cricketer, what do? You will sit and read about cricket, you will sit and read theories of cricket, or you will see videos of Sachin Tendulkar, and will you become a cricketer? No, no, you will have to go to the pitch and start practicing. The first ball when you face is when you realize that, okay, what I am capable of and what I am not capable of, how the ball comes. If you simply sit and read theory about cricket, you won't become a cricketer. Even this is same way. Writing answer is the same way. It is a skill. It is a skill. It is a skill that can be learned only through practice. You postpone it, you will realize the difficulty when you write your answer. So please don't postpone your answer writing. I'm not saying you have to, take up a test series or anything. Even if you start writing today on a previous year paper, one question a day, give it to your friend, exchange it, even that also, whatever it is, you start writing it. Okay, get feedback from others, because when you write the answers, you will feel that, oh, it is very good, because you yourself have written the answer. When you get feedback from others saying that this is wrong, this is how you should write, I did not understand what you have written in your answer, what is this? Like that, if you get feedback, that is when you start improving your answer. So please don't postpone your answer writing. And don't listen to rumors. Okay, let me tell you, this is one of the biggest evil in KPSC, rumors. People will tell that, this and all that. It is either by the institute, by the whatever, I don't know who will do this. Okay, so these rumors, okay, will destroy your peace of mind. So don't give heed to any rumors and have one single agenda to clear this examination. See, the idea is ultimately, I need one seat. I need to get 65 to 75% marks. I need to be good at what I am. Are you doing this? That is the question you have to ask every day. Unnecessarily listening to rumors. This happens, especially in study hubs. What do? You go have tea. There will be one senior player who will be sitting, who has given 10 attempts. He will be telling you all these Veda Vakya, etc., that you will be taking it very seriously. Don't give any attention to such rumors. As I told you, the only way you can clear this particular examination is by working hard and getting maximum marks in your mains. There is no other way you can clear this exam. Maximum marks in your mains. Okay, that is how you have to do it. Whether you need one seat, they will tell you they're adding 10 seats, they're removing 10 seats. For that, you'll spend 2 days finding out information. I see in various groups, people messaging and asking questions and other things. So one day they will say it is 120, okay, cut off. They will say, oh, institute is putting this 120 so that they will get more business. Then another person will say it is 250. Then another person will criticize, saying that, oh, you are all senior players, you don't want anybody to study. I mean, why do you have to do all this? What is the thing that you get out of it? Time pass. Okay, those who want to do time pass, let them do it. You, if you are a serious aspirant, don't give heed to all these rumors. Sit and start preparing. Start studying with one single agenda to clear this particular examination. Knowledge will never go for waste. Trust me, friends, when I tell you this, knowledge will never go for waste. Even if you don't clear this examination, the knowledge will make you a better person in your life, which is worth more than clearing this examination. And lastly, do not undermine this exam, and do not undermine KPSC post. Don't look at it from the prism of the news channels or other people who believe it is bad, it is a lot of corruption, lot of tension, etc. It is a beautiful post. You have lot of opportunity to contribute to the poorest of the poor in the society. You being there, you can become somebody's godfather by providing them a life, providing them opportunities, etc. So make sure that you understand the importance of this and don't undermine this examination. See, the problem is individuals, not the system, not the the exam. Okay, Okay, we have made it bad. People who run it have made it bad. Otherwise, it is a wonderful opportunity for all of us to contribute. Understand that. Let us all try to uphold this merit and make sure that we work hard towards achieving this. Is that okay, guys? So this is what you have, what you should not do. Before we conclude, see, our program, we will not be doing the entire main syllabus, okay, which is not necessary, I feel personally, because in the 3 months of time, I don't think that we would be able to complete all the syllabus. What we are planning to do is module-wise program, focusing exclusively on KPSC related topics like public administration and management. Okay, ethics paper, which is there only in your mains, or your Karnataka related history, geography, and political perspective, rural development. All these topics which are there exclusively only in your KPSC or your mains, only those we will be focusing on, and we will be stressing only on answer writing, making sure that with limited knowledge, you will write beautiful answers. That is the whole goal, what we are planning to do. I mean, that is what we plan to. We always believe keeping it very simple, keeping it very systematic. Okay, that is what we plan to do. We don't do all magic and predict questions. We don't do that. We don't have that kind of a power, okay, to predict questions or to give you, say that we have predicted all the questions. We don't do that. We will make sure that you are capable enough to write any type of question that is asked in your examination. Okay, so our focus will be to just get the best out of you. We know that you are already good. All that you need is a right direction. Okay, if you are given the right direction, right input, I am sure all of you are worthy to clear this particular exam. The problem is with respect to KPSC, unlike UPSC, UPSC has developed so much that you have guidance which is there available that is enough for you to clear the exam. But in KPSC, what has happened is rather than guidance, there's only rumors and people trying to milk money out of your sufferings. Okay, whether it is institutions, whether it is senior players or the so-called Telegram warriors, all these people are there just to milk money out of the aspirants and milk time out of the aspirants or waste their time. So please start your preparation. Just get the best out of you. All of you are aware. All of you are very good at what you are. All that you need is the right direction. We believe in that. That's what we are trying to help. Okay, so just try to help you to stay at your top game. That's what we believe. Rest, you will do it yourself. Okay, and we mainly this year we are focusing on mains test series. See, we have realized it last year that the important thing that aspirant has to do is give a test, give good tests, start writing answers. So our main focus will not be on class this time. We will be focusing on writing practice, writing program, and mains test series. The details you can find in our website. Okay, so 18 tests every week, so that you will be structuring your preparation, programming your preparation very well, very accurately, and you will have that confidence at the end of the your mains preparation. Any type of question that is thrown at you, because it's unpredictable. Say today they will ask you analysis, but you never know. They might ask you factual questions tomorrow. Okay, so you must be ready to write any type of question. That is what we believe. That's what we will try to do. We are not going to predict the topics. We are not going to predict the questions. Please don't expect anything of that sort from us. So we will focus on making sure that we discuss and try to make sure how to write good answers, evaluation, and one-to-one mentorship. That's what we are trying to do. Our main focus, since some of you asked, will be mainly on mains program, and focusing on exclusively KPSC or mains topics. Those things we will be putting up in a week's time. Mains test series program is already available. You can have a look at it in our website. Okay. So my next session will be on answer writing approach. Okay, and we will let you know when is the class, etc. You can definitely attend those sessions. Okay, so for classes, test series, etc., you can visit our website, or you can call any of the above, this number that is given. Okay, so now we are open for question. If you have any question other than cutoff, guys, okay, I don't want any more question on cutoff. So I have just tried to, I hope I have given you enough information for you to get started. Okay, my idea is that itself, to get started so that you can study the syllabus now, understand what it is, etc. Our association does not end over here. Okay, we will continue interacting with you guys. So I strongly believe in I strongly believe in merit. I strongly believe in hard work and commitment. If you are up for that, okay, you will find us very right. Okay, so expected mains exam. See, there are some information which says that they want to complete the exercise by February. So if they want to complete it by February, probably November, December will be your mains examination. Unfortunately, our programs will all be in English medium. Sorry for that, Nataraj. Okay, because of various resource crunch, etc., we will be able to manage only this one. See, it's not that we don't know Kannada or we don't want to contribute. It's that we will not be able to do justice. There are others who are able to do justice in Kannada. We feel that we can do justice in English, so we are sticking to that. Unfortunately, sorry for that. When will we get mains for bad and other things? So yeah, within a week or 10 days, 15 days, see, we would not want to see, it's already there as a draft. We don't want to release it. We want to make sure that it is of good quality. Only if it is of good quality, only then we will be. Okay, thank you. Okay, so please understand, guys, that your preparation will not go for waste. Don't go with, people saying that don't prepare, sit and worry about the cutoff, don't study, let's see what will happen. It's all institutions gimmicks and other things. Don't go by that. What will happen worst case, you will waste only your effort, which I'm sure that if you become a better, knowledgeable individual, it's not going to go for a waste. Okay, so don't worry, start your preparation from today itself. Trust me, each mark counts. I know how it is. See, I have lost I have seen students losing out by 1 mark. Okay, last time one of my students lost Tahsildar by 1 mark. Okay, by assistant commissioner by 4 marks. Just imagine that 4 marks they lost by assistant commissioner, ended up being a CTO. Okay, so CTO also is good. I'm not saying that. So by 4 mark, within that category, they would have got assistant commissioner. Just imagine the difference between them. 4 marks. And 4 marks they could have got if they had started 1 day before preparation. So don't put yourself in that position. Okay, don't put yourself in that position. I have students who did not prepare, wrote mains, delayed their preparation, and are now giving their examination. So don't do these things. Worst case, what will happen? See, there are a lot of rumors, Telegram and tea shops where people unnecessarily tell you things. See, I believe that hard work will never go for waste. You will do great things if you work hard. So that is why you start preparing right now itself. Nothing will go for waste. If your dream is to enter civil service, if you feel that, okay, I'm done, I can't do this, leave it. Do something else which you can do to contribute to your society. There's nothing wrong in that. But if you feel that you have another attempt, okay, you can do it. Even if you don't clear this year, next time will be it will be useful. I have seen students, my own student, who have cleared in 3rd attempt. Okay, in KPSC. Imagine 3rd attempt in KPSC means almost 7 years of struggle. 7 years of struggle. Okay. Okay. What else? How frequently should we write essay? At least a week. At least a week or 10 days. You write 1 essay. Okay, of 125 marks. Sure, Kumar, you can write after October, not a problem. Yeah, you can always join. See, the test series is going to be very flexible. You can write it whenever you choose. Those who are preparing exclusively for KPSC who are comfortable, I would recommend you to start from today itself. See, evaluation, we will evaluate and we will have a discussion like this. How we discussing today, that is how it is going to be. Mentorship is going to be where our faculty who has set the paper, who has evaluated the paper, okay, will be discussing with you, identifying your mistakes individually and pinpointing all of that. Okay, Swati? Yes, tests are available online, Praveen. You can just look at our website. There are different models depending upon what you are comfortable with. You can take it up. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Do you advise preparation for mains based on focus on current affairs and read those static concepts which have been in news for over here, or go reading full static? See, Mittal has asked a very good question over here. Should we focus on current affairs? See, in KPSC, majority of the question will be on concepts. Okay, it's not like UPSC. UPSC, majority of the question will be on current affairs. Okay, Mittal, in KPSC, majority of the questions are from concepts, ethics, GS1, GS2 and GS3, majority, at least 60% of the questions will be static. So you have to study statics, be comfortable, like public administration, nothing will, majority of the question will be from statics, technical theory part, etc. And you will get an idea as to what topics to focus on from current affairs, and some current affairs will also be asked. Like for example, industrial policy, that's a current affairs, so that can be asked. Okay, but then there are some static subject, explain the or discuss the planned stages of economy's progress during the different planning period of Karnataka, like that question can be asked, which is nothing to do with current affairs. Okay, Mittal, no, see, if you are comfortable, if you feel that, see, what will happen, I would say, test series is useful is, one is you will get a good structure, right? Second is, since you have given, since you have paid for it, or since you have already started, you will be forced to do something. You will be forced, just a minute, you will be forced to give the tests and prepare for the test, study for the test, even if you are not, 100% thorough with the particular topic, because you have to give the test, you will be giving. I have seen that. That's what happens. You will be forced to do it. That is what is it. So the earlier you start, the better it is always. Ramya, no, see, again, every day I would suggest you to write one question or two questions every day. And weekly once you should have a test. See, test series, what is the advantage is, somebody else will evaluate your paper and give you your feedback. You writing on your own, what will happen if you write on your own? What will happen? You will feel that whatever you have written is very good. Okay. Yeah. So anything else? Yeah. I hope it was useful, guys. So if you have any other doubts, you can always mail us or contact us. We will try to address them. Don't worry about the cutoff. Start preparing from today itself. Yeah, so that's about it. I hope it was useful. I hope I did not, bore you guys. In the next session, we will be talking about answer writing. Okay, I will be focusing on answer writing. I will do sessions on essay, ethics, etc. Okay, so for now, I think this is what I wanted to. Take your time, go through the syllabus, understand the syllabus, okay, and start writing your answers. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for attending the session. Okay, have a good day.